Greetings, listeners. This is my first podcast of the new year. I'm so happy that we're back together, and I'm so happy to have returned to you after a few weeks of holiday celebrations. I hope that whatever and however you celebrated, that you had a chance to rest, relax, and restore yourself. I am here to offer a dose of inspiration and positivity to start 2025. I know that I'm not the first to wish you a happy new year, and I probably won't be the last. You'll be hearing a lot of people talking about feeling alive in 2025 or coming alive in 2025. I love the idea. Let's do it together. This is the Wishing You Well podcast, and I'm your host, Maria Patrick, a health coach and Qigong instructor in upstate New York. This podcast is now being listened to in 31 countries. Welcome to the Wishing You Well family, Germany, Brazil, and South Africa. We're not going to talk today about making New Year's resolutions. I don't believe in them, partly because they don't have a very high success rate. So much so that this coming Friday, January 10th, is known as Quitter's Day. I think it's the earliest that they've ever clocked Quitter's Day on the calendar. And partly also, I don't believe in resolutions because I prefer to live a life of intention instead. What we're going to talk about today is maintenance. Do you have a maintenance plan for yourself? We have one for our cars, for our dishwashers, for our refrigerators, and for our fancy smartphones. But what about for our most precious commodity, our bodies? I recently had 3 experiences in a row that got me thinking about the importance of the concept of maintenance. I decided in the last few months of last year to tackle the things that have been on my to-do list for way too long. You know what I'm talking about, those nagging things that annoy you, that you've been meaning to do something about, that you resolve to fix and repair, and yet they mock you on a daily basis because you haven't gotten around to them. The first on my list was my kitchen drawers, several of which had fallen off the tracks and the bottoms had fallen out. I don't know if this was a statement on the poor workmanship of the drawers themselves. They were builder's grade at the time when we purchased them, and they're now over 25 years old. Or was it from years of cramming and shoving? It doesn't matter. They had to get fixed. I went back to the place where I purchased my kitchen cabinets over 25 years ago. Thank goodness they are still in business. And a very nice man named Bob came to my home. He took measurements and he went about the process of rebuilding and repairing the drawers. Here's where the maintenance lesson comes in. Bob said that my cabinets are so old that I could not replace the fronts of them even if I wanted to, because the company stopped making them very long ago. He knew that I had never upgraded or replaced them because he recognized the original design. He's been with the company that long, and he recognized and remembered my style of cabinet. He asked me what I had done to maintain them because he said they looked as great as new. And I do a lot of cooking in my kitchen, so it's not like this is a room that's a showcase only. It gets a lot of use. I told Bob that for the past 26 years, I've regularly wiped them down, and that I've never ever used any toxic chemicals to clean or polish the cabinets. He was extremely impressed, and he commended me on my excellent maintenance plan. He said that I saved myself thousands of dollars by choosing to take such great care of my kitchen. The second maintenance lesson of mine came from the man who came to my house to clean my gas fireplace. This is another item in my home that is over a quarter of a century old. The fireplace has logs that look just like the real thing, and at the flip of a switch, I have a roaring fire, which provides warmth and ambiance and has given me so many cozy and comforting winter nights through the years. The second that the service tech walked into my home, he said, "Wow, you're so lucky. That fireplace is so nice, and we don't make that anymore." I didn't understand what he was talking about, since the company's still in the gas fireplace business, and in the Northeast where I live, gas fireplaces seem to be more popular than ever. He explained that the designs have changed dramatically over the years, and that by popular demand, the fireplaces are now digitally controlled and they look so very different. Gone are the days of the traditional looking fireplaces with logs and brass andirons on either side of the logs. He said to me, "It's a good thing you've taken such great care of this, because if you hadn't, those logs would have disintegrated and you would not be able to replace them now." I didn't believe him, so he even contacted the manufacturer for me and confirmed that what he was saying was true. He said that because of the regular maintenance and cleaning that I've had done, I've had the company come in once a year to service the gas fireplace, that my fireplace logs have many years of life left in them. Wow, that was 2 maintenance success stories in a row. The last in my trifecta of lessons on the importance of maintenance came from my home theater system. We have one of those projectors that's built into the ceiling. It too is about 25 years old. And guess what? They don't make that particular one anymore. And even worse than that, you can't get any replacement parts for it. Filters, bulbs, and more. Oh my. The universe sure has been sending me messages loud and clear. The serviceman who came to my home to replace the filter said, oh, you can guess what he said by now, right? He said, "Ma'am, it's a good thing you have taken such great care of this, because all I have to do is clean it and your system will be working again. If I had to replace the filter, you would have had to replace the entire projector." Oh my goodness, another example of where excellent maintenance saved me thousands of dollars. The takeaway from my personal maintenance lessons is quite obvious. The better we take care of things, the longer they will last. The less toxins we use, the stronger things will remain with little or no erosion. The more positive attention we give to something, the more positive the outcome will be. Here's my question for you today. Do you have a personal maintenance plan? Are you out in front of taking the best care of yourself, or do you wait until the check engine light comes on? Or do you treat your body the way that I treated those kitchen drawers? You wait so long until you just can't take it anymore, and then you finally do something about it. What does it mean to have a personal maintenance plan? Let's break it down. We're going to keep it simple and make it something that we can easily implement starting now at the beginning of this new year. And then we'll be able to sustain it and keep it going throughout the year, feeling alive in 2025. Number 1, regular check-ins. I have a new doctor now, and he operates under a completely different type of practicing medicine. I pay him an annual fee, and I get to see him once a month. I think this is how it's done in other countries. My friends from around the world, please comment and let me know if this is how your medical system works. I go to my doctor once a month, whether I'm sick or well, and I could see him more often than once a month if I am not well. I love my new doctor. I love the fact that every month I have someone asking me how I'm feeling and how I'm doing. He checks my vitals. We talk about what I'm eating, how I'm sleeping, about my exercise plan, about any aches and pains, anything that is on my mind we can talk about. Now, I'm not suggesting that you break up with your doctor and find one like mine who will see you more often than you get your hair cut or more often than you get your car's oil changed. My advice is that we all need regular check-ins. If you don't have a doctor to do it, you need to do it with yourself. Pay attention to how you're feeling. Take yourself off of autopilot and pay attention to the dings and pings and check engine lights that your body is sending you. Do you feel like rubbish every time you eat a certain something? Chances are that's your body telling you that you have an allergy or an insensitivity to that food. Do you find yourself falling asleep at your desk every afternoon? You may have undiagnosed sleep apnea, or you need to change up your sleep hygiene and routine. Is your skin breaking out in rashes regularly? Time to take a look at the laundry detergent you're using and the soaps and lotions and potions in your house. You get the idea. Number 2, are you running on empty? We know it's not good for our cars' gas and oil levels to get too low, yet for some reason we think that our bodies can and should operate that way. We need to fuel ourselves like we are a high-priced Ferrari. Look back at past episodes of my podcast. I did a whole episode about this. With the very best nutrients and plenty of them, we need to be regularly eating and hydrating. The word diet, D-I-E-T, should stand for Did I Eat Today? 2025 is not the year for fasting and starvation. Part of maintenance is doing everything you can to take the very best care of yourself to keep your engine running properly and at its best. If this is an area you struggle with, I can help you. This is what I do. It's my specialty, helping people to use food as medicine. You can contact me through the link in the podcast description. Remember, as I said, we're going to keep it simple. It's about balanced meals and portion control and hydration and limiting processed foods, which are the poisons to the body. Number 3, starting your day with the all-important morning routine. We all have a morning routine, but yours might be hurting you instead of helping you. Are you pressing the snooze button over and over again? Is your phone the first thing you reach for when you wake up? One of my personal mottos is, begin as you mean to go on. It is actually something that a very wise coworker of mine told me many, many years ago. If your morning routine is garbage, so your day will be. I recently listened to a great talk between the brain expert Jim Kwik and Dr. Chatterjee, a practicing physician and the star of the BBC program Doctor in the House. Dr. Chatterjee talked about the very important, as part of your morning routine, 3 M's. And he says that we should start each and every day with all 3: movement, meditation, and mindset. He said that it's quite simple. You get right out of bed when your alarm goes off and you greet the day by moving. You walk to another part of your home where you hydrate. He then brews his first cup of coffee of the day, and in the 5 minutes it takes to brew, he does a 5-minute workout right there in his kitchen in his pajamas. Then he takes his cup of coffee to his living room and he sits down and he meditates for 5 minutes. It's just him and his coffee. No distractions, no noise, no inviting in the outside world, which is exactly what would have happened if he had used that time to look at his phone. The next thing you know, the world is ringing and pinging and alerting you, and that ends up being the energy that you take with you for the rest of the day. The last of the 3 M's is mindset. If you start your day feeling negative and angry and stressed, well, you know what happens. That's how your mind will lead you along the rest of the day. It's as simple as this. You can wake up and say, "Oh dear, another day." Or you can wake up and say, "Oh dear, another day." Do you hear the difference? Guess what? You will feel the difference. It's all about your mindset. That brings us to number 4 and number 5 of my simple 5-step plan for this year. Number 4 and number 5 are sleep and stress management, both of which are a very important part of your personal maintenance plan. Just like I found out during my year-end appointments, if I had not taken such great care of my cabinets, my fireplace, and my projector, I would now be faced with the difficult decision of whether I would be spending lots of money and time and energy and stress to get those things up and running again. Taking care of those precious items in my home have added years to their life and life to their years. Our bodies deserve nothing less. If we aren't getting enough sleep, and the experts on this subject say that we need to aim for at least 7 to 9 good quality hours every night, then we are not giving our bodies a fighting chance, and we are certainly not doing a good job of maintenance. It is important to have a consistent sleep schedule, which means, and this is a tough one for a lot of people, going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, even on the weekends, and having a sleep schedule that supports the circadian rhythm of our body. We also need to create a proper sleep environment, dark, quiet, and cool with no distractions, which means no phones. Stress management needs to also be a part of our maintenance plan. You've heard it said before. I've said it to you myself several times the past year. Over 80% of our health issues are connected to our body's response to stress. If you don't already have a regular practice of relaxation, whether it's meditation or deep breathing exercises or something like Qigong or yoga, the time is now to add stress management into your 2025 maintenance plan. Like I said at the top of the show, it's not about resolutions. You can resolve to lose 25 pounds this year and find yourself disappointed and disgusted on Quitter's Day or some day thereafter. Or you can set an intention to live a better, healthier, longer, and stronger life and create a simple maintenance plan for yourself. If you do, you may find yourself having an aha moment at the end of this year, like I did, where you'll be pleased and proud and, most importantly, grateful for how well you took care of your most precious and valuable commodity, yourself. My grandparents lived into their 90s, and how they did it is no mystery to me. They took great care of themselves. They had an excellent maintenance plan. My grandfather used to always joke, if I had known I would have lived this long, I would have taken better care of myself. If I could talk to him today, I would say, well done, Papa, well done. You did it, and I learned from it. Let's make this the year we all do the same thing. Reach out to me if you don't want to do this alone. And please keep tuning into this podcast. Next week, we're going to delve into the news that just came out of the United States Surgeon General's office. So please stay tuned. Until next time, please take great care of your most precious self and know that, as always, I am wishing you well.